Hello, hello. We are actually live now, finally, with our first CL Jolyu League games. It's taken too long. But I am joined today by Gabblit and Nikki. Hi, guys.
Hello, hey.
So, I didn't prep anything to talk about. But,
Currently handling the chat situation, but...
Look, chat's angry at me because I did some poor choices when it comes to font. But, don't at me. I'm not a graphics designer. I am just... yes. But yeah, so game 1 today, we have Guys in Real Life versus Slightly Above Synərgy Tier 2. Everyone's sitting in lobby. And we are just waiting for teams to ready up before we go. It's been so long since I've casted. I feel like I'm not used to, I feel like usually I have more things to like say in this like downtime period before the game starts.
Okay, so first up we got Guys in Real Life versus Slightly Above Synərgy T2. This is the first game in our top league, the Ocean League. It should be a fairly interesting game in terms of pure ranks and where the highest ranked players are focused. It's all around that bottom lane. So it'll be interesting to see if the teams decide to draft around that or if they go in a different direction.
Yeah, so it definitely feels like gonna be some bot lane focus games that we're gonna have here. And of course our second game is going to be the rivalry I've been looking forward to for weeks. It is Slightly Above Synərgy versus Guardians of the Rift. Honestly, I don't want to call it the shit talk I've been seeing, but the competitive talk I've been seeing is
as long as it doesn't get into as long as it doesn't get into toxic levels, it's all good. It's all in good fun. Remember, you are allowed to use your emotes. I encourage you to use your emotes, in fact. Okay, so I have let the teams know. We're having a bit of chat issues, I'll just let you know. So whenever the teams are ready, I've told them they can start, but having trouble because one of the teams can't see the chat, so I have to tell them directly. But
yeah, something I probably should say. New caster today. Welcoming Nikki to our casting team. Nikki from GOTR. Is it red or is it blue? It's red, right? It's red, yeah.
Red.
Yes, it's red.
So Nikki's going to be doing some play-by-play for us for this matchup. It's going to be exciting to see. What am I getting pinged for?
So
that was you pinging me. Thanks.
Oh yeah, just trying to get their attention, saying they are allowed to start the game. It's currently Crash has the lobby ownership, so he's the one that has to start it.
So that's
Yep, so usually this would be really easy because we could just shove it into the chat of the game lobby itself, but you know, nothing can be easy. We've had 2 teams have a bit of a issue from the lower league, so we're not playing any lower league games this week. They're combining it into one team. We don't know what their new name's going to be yet. So there's going to be 4 teams in the lower league, so they're basically going to play weeks 2 to 4, and then they'll be done with their round robin. And we can do something fun maybe on the last week with them. Maybe have some ARAMs 1v1s or something, if they really want to. And we're into draft, here we go.
Yes, we are. I can switch to our... Oh, slightly bit like on the transition there, but we're into our client.
Turn off again.
I forgot to turn off. It's not going to be one of my streams if we don't have me going at the start of Champion Select. So
okay, girl on the blue side on the left here, you've got them the wrong way around.
I do. I also have a scoreboard. This is very.
You also have the
up.
girl having won already.
Okay,
It's
production
not fixed.
value.
I promise it's not fixed.
Production value is not something I pride myself on.
Anyway, going into ban phase, we've got Malzahar being banned out. That's against Firehawk. His main played champion by far is Malzahar in that mid lane. Troll Zoe has been playing a lot of Senna support recently, so that's clearly a ban focus there. The Ioriaa is just a very strong pick. I guess they don't want Firehawk getting his hands on it. Interesting, Ahri's his second most played, I believe, and they are not banning that. Yone getting banned on the other side. Preston likes his Yone. There will be a VOD, and it will be on the YouTube.
On the YouTube channel, which I don't have a command for, but there is definitely there. You can see it in the Discord and the information channel. But yeah, honestly, I'm not surprised to not see an Ahri ban, because I don't think she's in that strong of a position right now. That actually, even when she gets ahead, she's very easy to deal with, in my opinion. Much easier than, say, Malzahar or an Ioriaa.
So this is, yeah, the bans are not too unexpected. They're banning Thresh against
Plasha.
Plasha. I keep forgetting his name. He's been spamming it a lot in ranked, or his last lot of ranked games is mostly Thresh, so just get him off for comfort. And then MF banned because Zabatori's been spamming that. They did leave open Caitlyn.
Yeah, that's the first pick, Caitlyn. No surprises there. She is still probably best in slot in AD carry, along with, you got Ashe. Senna's also a good one, but of course Senna's going to be banned away. So honestly, do I actually know? So, for AD carries of SES2, is there anything you're expecting to see?
Ashe is the general pick into Caitlyn that you tend to see. So I'd expect maybe to see Ashe. I can't remember if it is in female Brox's pool. It's not one of his most played champions, but maybe he prefers something else like the Lucian into it.
Yeah, currently holding 65% win rate on that Lucian. But actually, SES2 deciding that AD carry, or in fact their bot lane completely, is not something they care about too much for first rotation, opting instead for that Poppy and the Graves.
Just, of course, they have their high tier player in the bot lane, so they can probably play pretty much anything. Evelyn locked in. Here we go. So Evelyn locked in as a counter to the Graves, someone that can really pressure the map and can catch people out. Can definitely burst down a Graves if needed.
Yeah, and so I found it difficult to scout Stinky, because actually it's just so few games that count. Evelyn's got a few on there, so it's something, but I think the last time we saw him, he played Nidalee, and it's actually quite a convincing performance from him. So it'll be interesting to see how he pulls out this Evelyn.
So Shen, still a really strong pick. Probably going to be put top into the Poppy. If we assume the Poppy's also top, you can flex Poppy to support. But it's not something you see very often. It's usually as a specific counter. Firehawk now locking in. They lock in their ADC just to make sure they get one that they're comfortable on, and it's the Kai'Sa.
Yeah,
They don't have much synergy yet with that Kai'Sa ADC, really, but they're drafting a fairly low team.
I mean, from what I've spoken to from Broxa previously, I know he's been really liking the Kai'Sa recently. So, yeah, definitely a prio pick. Thank you for those 5 gifted subs, saving us.
So we got the Vigar banned out.
What do you think about Kai'Sa against Caitlyn, though? Because...
Not a strong pick.
Yeah.
The reduction in range, or range difference, will make it very hard to get through that early game. They have drafted overall a very low range comp. Blue does also have the submarine comps with Evelyn Shen, or one of the possible submarine comps. The bans that carry on, they're just taking away what is considered comfortable at this point, banning out Ahri, and then we see Vigar banned against Preston, and Troll Zoe's Soraka taken away, so no Soraka seen today.
I was kind of looking forward to seeing this Soraka, but yeah, obviously something that they don't want to see coming out of Troll Zoe today. Those alerts down a little bit because they interrupted you guys just a tad.
So yeah, Poppy Shen's a fairly close matchup. You tend to say it's slightly Poppy favoured with if you can use your W correctly, which I can't remember the name off the top of my head now. Galio locked in, so this is still a very short range comp for the side of SAS2, but that gives them a lot more map pressure to help catch up with the Shen's pressure, and because you've got that Grace in the jungle, you're not too desperate for the damage, so it works out pretty well. Morgana, I would assume, is the support, so they probably have to lock in the mid laner still.
Yeah, I mean, with the amount of prio that Girl have put in their bans against Firehawk in the mid lane, with their bans, honestly, I'm expecting both Preston and Stinky to put all their effort into winning this mid lane, shutting out Firehawk and making sure that Preston is a monster on this Nico. How do you like the Nico pick?
I like Nico. I especially quite like Nico into Galio. You can use your W quite effectively. Galio wants to go straight forwards, and Nico likes throwing her E in a straight line to root people. Personally, yeah, I think they've drafted a fairly interesting team comp here. They do have a bit of frontline. They have quite a lot of peel to help keep people off the Caitlyn. And Lulu is just a really strong pick to round out that comp. They are shoveling quite a lot here into their jungle ADC picks.
But
Not unexpected.
Galio's quite like, I mean, built like an AP, like anti-AP champion. So Nico versus Galio in late game, not sure that's gonna do much to Galio except keep him off.
I think
when Galio starts to...
for a bit.
I think the issue that Girl are gonna have once it gets to these late points in the game is getting close to, you know, Phil Brock. So if he doesn't ult in, then, you know, Nico is a, you know, short to medium range mage. You got basically Caitlyn is your long range option.
But you peel for this Caitlyn. You have the Morgana and you have the Nico, who are both very good at keeping her safe from possible engages. Your main thing is whether you can sort of, I suppose, make better use of Caitlyn's range and your peel, rather than the enemy team's dive and the fact that they're gonna outscale you with some of these picks, especially.
Yeah. So, looking at, I suppose, both these comps overall, who do you think your bets are on to win? And I'm actually going to make a poll for chat, because I want to see chat's opinions as well on who your calls are to win game 1 here.
Definitely. We'll let chat go for a bit so we don't influence their decision on who they think's going to win. I think I know which team I would prefer to be on, and which team I think has a better draft. I also think I know which teams I think is going to win, and they're not all necessarily the same thing.
Yeah, so chat's vote's going to go on for a few minutes. I don't know how I feel about Girls' draft, because to me it feels like they've put a lot of pressure on Yamato, because as the only, you know, front line piece of that draft, with things like a Poppy and a Galio and a Kai'Sa with a Lulu, all of which have so much engage, for all of this kiting to be put on, you know, to Shen, the rest of them are going to be melted down real fast. It's going to be tough for Yamato to really hold through that. I mean, as I can see in chat as well, there's so much magic damage as well coming out from Girls' draft.
I would like to see actually the Rylai's Morgana here. I think the amount of value you get from your W slowing the enemy team will be absolutely massive in keeping your Caitlyn alive. I don't think you have to max it or anything, because you're not looking to do damage with it. You just want that slow, and it only gives you extra damage putting extra points into it. So I'd expect the normal sort of build path or skill path, but I would quite like to see a Rylai's at some point, or maybe just straight up a Glacial Morgana or Nico, and you really put things into the fact this Caitlyn is going to carry you, because Caitlyn is your AD option here, and will do all of the AD damage of your team, and everyone else is going to be adding on a bit of magic damage. They don't really have to build damage for you to be stacking a lot of magic damage.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes as we finishing out our spectator today. Currently, well, the chat was even last I looked at it, but as the voting ends, it is currently 5 votes for SAS Tier 2 to win, for only 3 for girls. So chat seems to think that SAS Tier 2 have got the draft here.
SAS Tier 2 have a Tier 2, Team 2 have a much easier draft to execute, in my opinion. Personally, I think if you know how to play girls draft, it's really strong and it should win. It's whether they'll be able to execute on that comp or not. Worth noting, Nico has the Airy, so wants that extra slight lane pressure, and also has the Ignite. I don't really like either of these options here. You could argue for the Ignite, maybe. I think I would have preferred to just see like TP with Glacial. Morgana as well, taking Comet, not Glacial Augment. I think your main goal here, if you're Nico and Morgana, is keep Caitlyn alive. Your main goal isn't even to be those big damage threats. So I think it's kind of strange to not see either of them having taken Glacial Augment.
Yeah, I think
So
I
we're
would
into
much rather
game.
seen. Oh, you're into game, lovely. So, of course, my computer's gonna be a bit slow, as it always is. Actually, it
Fine,
wasn't too
people
bad
spawning
recently.
in now.
Yeah.
Buys are being picked up. I see absolutely nothing unusual. Everything you would expect to see being picked up. I suppose you could say maybe you'd expect Galio to go a Doran shield into Nico, but I don't think it really matters. He's gone Doran's ring. Either's fine.
I think interesting to pick up actually is Preston obviously opting for that Ignite over the TP whilst laning to Galio.
I don't like it.
I don't either. I mean, I said this before, you take Ignite in lanes you're expecting to win. You're expecting to get the solo kills or, have the jungle pressure. And into a Galio, that's not something you often have. Let's just whack that fast forward button as, yes, I'm now into game finally.
Nothing's happened. They've just fanned out. 2 wards have been used. Both junglers basically put their wards in the exact same bush, swapped to trinkets, and walked to their bottom side buffs. Someone asked, who do the casters favour? Personally, I think usually when you're looking at around this, you would just give it off the draft to SAS T2. But I want to see Girl win with this draft. I want to see them execute the draft well. I always just like to think, if you can execute a slightly strange comp well, it's just nice to see.
I agree with you. I actually think Girl's gonna put a lot of pressure bot lane with that Morgana Q combination with Caitlyn Trap. If they land both of them. I mean, if the Q is, on point, then of course Caitlyn can land the trap, and that's definitely gonna be hard to get out of and probably will deal a lot of damage.
You can chain those double, even into triple headshots if you land those traps. So, especially in the early levels, if you can get level 3 pick with a triple headshot, it's an easy first blood there.
So I'd like to see Zabatore and Troll Zoe post level 2, letting the wave push towards them and just trying to freeze it. Force Female Broxer and Platcher. I keep forgetting that. Have to walk up really far to get anywhere close. You can see here they're trying to abuse that level 2. Morgana pool goes down. Nothing really done.
Yeah.
They managed to get 1 minion.
Other things tonight, both junglers did opposite bottom side, so we're not going to see much action with junglers on the bottom side of the map too soon. Graves obviously having that, going for the double buff clear, not really opting for the smaller camps with Wolves and Krugs, going for that possible early gank onto Yamato.
The level 3 rush into a gank
in
top
this
lane.
top lane.
Yamato has Taunt, misses it, but he should still be fine here to just walk out. He walks back in for that grass stack.
Yeah, gotta get as many grass stacks as he can.
You know what? An okay gank. You pushed him off the wave. You got
Actually,
got a pot.
That's a flash force by
Firehawk.
Firehawk. Ignite down. And that's first blood to Preston.
Does tick just enough with the last tick. Yamato getting the taunt onto Giles.
Yeah,
Stinky's going in.
Yes, he's going for it. It's going to be dash away. It's looking like he's going to be fine. Fine and out as 2 Crash comes along to
Nice combo from
Keep them out.
Saboteur right there, just for a bit of damage. See, there's a
It's
fight
possible
going down over the
3v2.
scuttle.
Actually, 2 crash landing a nice stunt into the wall. Stinky there, but Yamato is
Misses
there
the
in the
stun.
3v1.
It's left, then Yamato
Oh,
gets the
goes
kill.
down there.
I think I would have preferred to see Yamato just leave that and let Evelyn or Nico pick up that kill. I don't think the gold on the Shen is particularly important. I think it'd be a lot nicer to just see it going on to Evelyn or Nico, who are more likely to itemize into damage.
Especially considering Preston's already got that 1 kill worth of gold up over Firehawk. Getting a 2nd kill worth of gold really snowballs that mid lane.
Worth noting, he has not backed yet. Galio is effectively up on him right now just by a ruby crystal.
He's sitting on 1600 gold. Oh, so 1600, 1200 gold even.
It'd be interesting to see if he feels like he's stronger having that extra kill despite not having the actual spent gold advantage.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's a ruby crystal. It's 280 health, I think. So it's just going to give
150.
him 150. Wow, that's gone down.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just going to give him a little bit of extra health to survive. Just the amount of poke that Preston was putting down. And you know, in load screen, I did talk about how I didn't like the ignite, but the ignite was what got Preston the solo kill. So maybe it was my badge of doubting his ability on the Nico. Just gonna seem heavy trying to stop there. Nah,
Got the solo kill from it. So what you're looking for really, if you're on the side of SAS2, is just your bot lane doesn't fall too far behind. And if you look, they are actually equal on CS.
And
is
pretty much equal in gold as well. Just
unfortunate.
I mean,
Female Boxer got that back off, got a tier, so very much not looking to fight, just looking to go for that those later game power spikes, well, in the mid game.
how would you feel about the cheer buy instead of the pickaxer?
Well, usually buy pickaxe for a little bit of extra lane pressure. Are you going to have lane pressure with the pickaxe? Probably not. So I think it's completely fine to just pick up the tier here, because all you're looking to do anyway is survive the lane. I don't think you ever expect to actually kill Caitlyn Morgana. Nice stun into the wall.
Oh yeah, do you reckon nice into the knock-up as well?
It's a good block.
Yeah,
There
it
could be a
is.
potential tower dive from 2Crash here as soon as that E comes off cooldown.
Yeah, he's got that huge
Look
wave there.
for the
Yamato's trying to
stun
stick
into
around
the
for the
wall.
gold and XP, and 2Crash I think knows that this is a possible kill.
Yamato using his Q is pretty important. That's an extra shield that he gets.
In the meanwhile, we do actually see Giles starting that dragon with his bot lane. There to support. With Saboteur and Jolyu having taken that reset, they are absolutely fine and safe to do so. Looks like Preston has scouted them out. It's in the back of the pit, but the EQ doesn't connect, so they pull the dragon back out. And that'll be first
Look at the
dragon going over to SAS Team 2, not Tier 2.
So SAS Team
Same.
2 used their tempo quite well there for when they got an early back for their tier, and when the enemy team was backing to get their BF sword, they correctly call it and they go to the dragon, use that extra pressure that they have to secure the dragon fairly easily.
Yeah, I really like the call because, as I said, they knew that with Female Boxer going for the tier compared to Saboteur's BF sword, they can get the earlier reset, and with Giles having clear and getting the reset back down to the dragon in time, it means that when Saboteur and Zoe go for this reset, obviously wanting that BF sword, there's nothing to stop them going for that dragon. So it's a nice reset, and yeah, it works out really well for SAS Team 2. Next dragon is going to be a mountain, which means we're either on a cloud or a infernal rift. But actually, never mind, we're going to see a possible 3v4 in this bottom lane, as we do see Preston and Stinky are both around. Not going to be spotted by vision.
Stinky
Giles
just
actually walking
stealthing
away.
in here. Preston walking down, definitely been
Preston
spotted.
is spotted by the ward now, but
But-
Stinky has not been, as he's in that front bush.
That might have given him away.
Black Shield doesn't
I'm
show
not
up.
actually sure
but
the
actually
interaction.
gives himself
Goes
up,
early,
forces the
Oh.
flash away.
and that is a one dead Lulu. Lulu, yeah, very squishy.
Yeah.
But
I
well
think
well
that's a
played there.
wasted ult by Galio though.
Yeah, so
I
the hero's
understand
entrance
the
came
reasoning.
down to try and prevent the further push into the tower dive, but just with the sheer amount of damage that, you know, an Evelyn and a Caitlyn and Morgana can put down, Plusher just didn't really have a chance to stay alive. It was just too squishy for.
Meanwhile, you can see Preston's just trying to shove in that mid lane. Firehawk's going to be able to get back in time though to pick up the XP and most of the gold from it. Misses out on the cannon.
Yep, so if we take a quick rundown of the gold right now, top lane looking fairly even, just a small 100 gold lead over to Yamato. Jungle with about 1 kill, about 300 gold lead over to Stinky. Mid lane, of course, with that nice, about 700-800 gold lead over to Preston with that 1 kill and small CS lead as well. Bot lane as well with a nice kill lead on the side of Girl after that kill in that last gank, puts him 600 ahead. And a small 300 lead in the supports as well, about 300 gold there. So actually, Girl's starting to pull ahead here.
Be interesting to see if Girl now decide with this bot lane to try and pull it back and freeze it to put the Kai'Sa and Lulu in greater danger. Oh, but we see an engage.
Oh, nice binding.
Beautiful.
And with the final headshot, the flash doesn't matter.
Ouch. Okay, so yeah, as I was saying, it'll be interesting to see whether Zabutor and Trailzo decide to let the wave push into them to force Kai'Sa and Lulu away from the turret, or if they decide to just shove in over and over to try and get those plates and that extra pressure to start moving into the other lanes.
Yeah, it does look like they're not going to push forward to these platings, which, like for them, as Giles is in the area. Actually, they possibly could be doing forwarding. He's caught Zabutor.
I'm not sure he wants this fight.
I think Zabutor and Trollzo are going for the ward clear. Yeah, just going to trade it ward for ward. But actually, with Broxer actually forcing Trollzo's flash forward, Zabutor getting that black shield, Giles flashing forward, Exhaust going down. But Giles is actually the only one coming out. Yeah, the Stand United is coming out. And the taunt going out onto Giles, who will be falling there. Oh, actually, Permros are ulting forward onto Zabutor, but it's not enough as he lives on about 100 health there.
That's a very late TP from 2Crash.
2Crash is there with the teleport, but actually a lot of damage going on to Yamato, but he should be free to walk out here. Taunt going over the wall there.
Oh, Stinky's behind though.
Stinky is behind. Does get that taunt onto Plusher, but the Polymorph actually keeping him alive, not quite long enough though. But Stinky getting caught by a lot of damage from Firehawk there. But now 2Crash getting caught by that binding. Yamato is far forward. Will probably have taunt up soon, but flash coming over the wall from 2Crash, but Preston will match that flash, ignite, and the root, and that'll be another kill going to Preston.
They just sort of ran in one by one there. I didn't think they should have taken the fight as Graves Kai'Sa in the first place. You can see how well it went for them. Yeah, unfortunate and damage control now. You probably have to give up this next Drake unless you can somehow sneak it away. You can see Graves is doing the Rift Herald, thinking that Girl will just be taking that Drake as soon as it spawns. I'm sort of surprised Devlin's on the Raptors and not just going for the Drake instantly.
Yeah, obviously going for a little bit of jungling before the clear. Doesn't actually have any vision too deep in the jungle, so I don't think they know where Giles is right now.
Someone asked, can teams FF in this tournament? We've given no roles in it, so yeah, they can FF if they really want to.
Heavy trade's coming in this top lane. Actually, Yamato fighting inside the wave, but with that, it's going to be fine. Interestingly, I mean, you said how when Giles is up on that Herald that should be a free dragon. Actually, Girl have only just started to group around it now.
Yep, so they're getting all four there, making sure they get it. Meanwhile, Giles is just counter jungling, taking the entire top side jungle away from Stinky. You can see the amount of vision Girl currently have on this bottom side really shows where they're focusing. And my spectator cam really loves this wet noodle fight up top.
Yeah, I've been moving it away manually. Actually, we do see Giles in that top lane. Yamato doesn't have vision of this. Herald is going to be summoned.
As long as he doesn't stay too close to the walls here, he should be fine.
Actually, opts to go towards the wall. 2Crash will get a nice stun. Did the exact thing you told him not to do. Yeah, you never want to stand close to the walls. Preston will be there to get rid of that Herald. Yeah.
Overall, not the best use of the Herald. You didn't need it for that tower dive. You basically just get a few plates from it, and it's on the top lane. You've not even tried to really open up mid.
Yeah, I find this interesting that, you know, Girl put all this, ban pro into the mid lane, but actually they're, as they've been playing, their prior's been towards both top and bot, and it's working out. I mean, Preston got that solo kill onto Firehawk, and now it feels like Firehawk and that Galio is kind of irrelevant at this point in the game. He's not quite finished his Proto Belt. He's sitting on 1.3k, so probably gonna finish it quite soon. I can't exactly remember how much Proto Belt is. But it kind of feels like SAS are just crumbling away, really.
You know what I've seen? This is where, like, lucidity boots on the support. No, it's not Moby boots on the Morgana. Oh my
I think
god.
they might have done that just for you.
I hope so. Well, no, I hope they've done it because it's good.
Your passionate hate for movies. Yeah, we're sort of in a bit of a lost state right now. Next objectives are going to be 3 minutes on that Infernal Soul Dragon.
I think the next objective realistically is this bot lane tower, and you can see they might be setting up a tower dive here with the Nico coming down. They're shoving in that bot lane very hard.
Giles actually
He's had to
on
clear
the
a
side.
ward.
He's in the area. Hasn't been spotted. Nice finding
A lot of
landing
damage.
on Broxer, the haste and the Holly even coming out, but that half health is precious. That's first tower going to
There's
bot lane.
the Galio ult.
A very late hero's entrance, but Flash being forced to flash away there, but now Firehawk's stuck in the middle. Forced to use the stash away as the Synərgy comes around to keep Preston nice and healthy. And it looks like nothing's really going to come of this. Two Crash didn't have teleport available at the time.
Stopping the Herald mid was good for D2. They need to slow the game down. Mid speeds it up. How would them getting damage on the mid tower speed the game up for them? They don't really have to push mid at any point. Realistically, I prefer to just see them save it for a time. They could
ulting in for Stinky there, but obviously not realizing that the rest of Girl were there to support him and getting blown up immediately.
Yamato Cannon actually takes quite a bit of damage topside as well. He's forced to back
really,
his power.
yeah, getting the worst of these trades here.
So, as we talked about a little bit before, it is going to be Infernal Soul. How would you feel about Infernal Soul for these two teams? Do you think it benefits either one better? Or more so?
Not particularly in any way. They're both fine. Like, you probably prefer the two better souls on either team, and you're happy, I guess, it's not Cloud. But I mean, Cloud's decent here for what you want to do on both teams.
Oh,
Opening
nice
mid does
stun into
speed
the
up.
wall. Two Crash in the 1v2. Giles is around. Nice ultimate to get the CC down, but Giles is around. A lot of damage coming out from Giles. Two Crash will be forced to leave the fight.
It does speed the game up opening mid, but you're never going to get that mid tower down past the... You're never actually going to kill that mid tower realistically. So why not get it low so that when you do want to kill it and speed the game up, when you get your item spikes, you can.
So they're not done.
Slight miss there from
Top lane.
Stinky.
Charm not going to connect. Giles actually stepping quite far forward. Doesn't have a lot of mana or a lot of health. Two Crash was in ult range for Stinky. It was up. This is what Stinky's fishing for here. He knows that Two Crash... Oh, not quite in that ult range now.
Oh, a
One
nice
Q.
guess.
Ooh.
Wow. I mean, you can see it with the red trinket. Good use of red trinket.
Well, now that they stopped Graves from actually going back, I think the Dragon's gonna go to blue team.
Yeah, so they
Yep.
stop Giles' reset. Stinky was topside as well, so it's having to run down, but of course
Path
with
there, but-
Evelyn passive, it's a lot faster going to get there than Giles. And it has already been started by the rest of Girl.
Yes. Evelyn passive actually doesn't speed you up in any way.
It's the heal.
Yeah,
It's going to
heal him up,
help
sure.
him. Oh,
Flash
flash
forwards.
binding
Oh.
doesn't connect.
Trades flash with Galio, which is not the worst thing.
There's a lot of fights this game that end up in, it feels like both teams holding up white flags, like, nah, we're done. That's enough. We don't need any more
Oh,
from
that's
this.
they're not over chasing, and sometimes you need to know when to not over chase. They do need to get this mid turret down at some point. 3 in pit, and they didn't force that with Shen ult. They could try and force it with the Shen ult, but I think they're sitting on a decent amount of gold right now. Wow. The Shen's sitting on a lot of gold, and the rest of the team's sitting on about 1,000 or so each.
I think it was maybe to keep Synərgy up for that. I mean, Giles gonna get caught by that charm. Ace and Hawk gonna come in, not gonna finish off the root landing onto female Broxer.
I'm happy with the team choosing to not overchase rather than, and potentially being a bit too defensive rather than the other way around, and constantly killing themselves because they're trying to chase things that is just really stupid.
That is true. I'd rather see teams being cautious than ARAMs.
The fact that they went for the flash bind is the fact they went for the flash bind. They said it was like a good thing to do, and then when it missed, they chose, yeah, we've not got the fight. Let's back off and wait for next time. That's fine.
And that'll be mid tower opened up by Girl. Now, as SAS T2, you are 6,500 gold behind. What is the play here to make sure this isn't just GG in the next 5 minutes?
Well, you've got quite a while on that Drake soul actually, so you just try and stop the bleeding as much as you can. Funnel as much as you can into your Kai'Sa. She's the one going to be doing the main amount of damage, or at least you would hope so. And yeah, you get your, as in the chat, you get your item spikes, and then you play around those. You want your Kai'Sa to hit her 2 items, and then have that tier stacked, and that's the point realistically where I'd expect them to be trying to fight. She's over halfway there now.
483 out of that 750. So almost there. Well, almost in a way of words.
Shen has finished that first item. Evelyn's working towards that Void Staff right now. Nico's on that first item power spike. Caitlyn's hit that 2 item power spike. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how Blue Girl try and close out this game.
I mean, yeah, because if you look at the items of SAS T2, 2 Crashes just finished his Spirit Visage. Giles just has the jungle item. Firehawk only has his finished Proto Belt with a Seeker's Arm Guard to follow. Seeker's feels weird, considering that magic damage that comes out from Girl. I wouldn't want to see him upgrade that too much further. Has the armor for Sabotori, but yeah, I don't want to see him upgrade that any further. Of course, Broxer with about 500 stacks on that.
But yeah, I don't agree with that.
Flasher gonna dodge the root, but Stinky is in the area.
Very out of position here, and
Charm lands.
I think that came up with about 130 gold right there. So yeah, not the best game.
Yep, worth a little bit more than a cannon minion at this point, which is not a great place to be in as Flasher or anyone from SAS T2.
But I mean, soon, hopefully we'll have that Ardent Sensor, which will really power up Caitlyn. Yamato's starting to win the 1v1 trades, which is pretty big.
Herald gonna get a second charge on this bottom inhibitor tower. Looks like Girl not gonna go for the push. They don't have the rest of the wave here. Firehawk looking for that taunt, not gonna land.
See Spirit Visage picked up first buff Poppy. I don't think it's a terrible choice, considering you've got the Grasp, does amp the healing. But personally, I think I would have gone Adaptive Helm into this team. You've got quite a few repeated magic damage effects that you can stall out, including just the Shen's auto attacks doing their bonus magic damage.
I mean, yeah, if you think you've got the hate spikes, you've got the multiple procs from Nico Q. I guess multiple procs from Morgana W works for that as well. But yeah, I think it's mostly hate spikes and the Nico Q that are going to be huge damage. That, yeah, Adaptive Helm
Dinky reveals himself.
Really help.
Very nice dodge with the ult there.
I'm not sure about the hero's entrance there. Going to get caught by the binding. Charm not going to be used there. Well, not going to be connected there.
So yeah, Grace looks like he's going for a slightly more... Oh, we see a potential engage here. There's power of Nico.
Half healthed it. And yeah, with the Nico clone, SAS22 can't go in. 2crash gonna look for the stun
He's
there.
going on plushie.
But a huge ultimate from Preston gonna
Assassinates
catch out
the Lulu.
3. And Firehawk forced to flash away with Giles left to run in the bottom side river. Actually, Giles is looking for this 1v1 on to Stinky here. Heat spikes aren't going to be enough there, but he's looking cornered, and the ace in the hole will finish him off there.
Yeah. Someone mentioned about Graves going lethality. I mean, you could argue lethality would be good here because there's not many people that will be picking up armor. But I think his idea is if I go lethality, I'm just going to get one shot by Evelyn or Nico if either one hit me. And so he's building a slightly more tanky build with the Death Stance.
I hope
Not
he's
to
going to
live
get
through
that.
that.
Not going to afford it. So, open inhibitor in the bot lane for SAS T2.
And I actually like this girl. Don't take the inhib.
I think even if
Because-
they'll want to take the inhib there, they couldn't. With the rest of SAS T2 spawning, and with, you know, only Zabatore,
Saboteur, Preston,
Yes.
and Troll Zoe. But I think that's the that's your perfect peel comp right there. And the Shen ult is up, so he could join if needed. But yeah, I like the fact they don't actually take the inhib there, because although it would give you the pressure to play around Baron, that is a lot of extra golden experience that you're giving over. And I don't think they need the extra pressure right now to just take Baron. They could just take it. Like, there's no reason they can't.
I mean, yeah, even if SAS22 try and, you know, contest this, I think this is easily, you know, this is girls' game to throw away right now.
Yes, it's girls' game to lose, not SAS's game to win.
Pretty much.
That's a very good way to put it.
Did you crash actually on the side here? Yeah, not gonna be able to pick up anything there. I mean, if you just look at the vision on the map, girl have, you know, coverage in most of SAS22's jungle.
On the top
But
side, they
in-
have a lot better
yeah.
coverage.
Bottom side is basically where SAS22 have been focusing their vision right now. But the binding's chaining on to 2crash. A nice engage from Firehawk, but
The hammer's charged by 2crash, but not
they
used.
decide not to commit to it. Stinky was on the side. Yamcha Cannon was in the bottom lane. Did have Stand United available.
And holds it. It's good knowing that he does not need to use it right now, and that they're just going to slow push this game down. Oh, that was a lot of damage on Plushie.
Yeah, that'll be second tier tower opened for Girl. And I have to see in the chat, it does look like that Firehawk is going to be upgrading that Seekers further. He's looking towards the hourglass as he has picked up that stopwatch.
I mean, at this
there.
point, that is the only reason you could have been building that Seekers, is to upgrade it for the stopwatch.
I'm not a fan. Not a
No,
fan
but
at all.
I would have been more annoyed, I think, if he had just built the Seekers and started going completely elsewhere. Considering they need to play around item spikes as soon as they can, finish the item, and hopefully your Kaiser's strong when it's finished.
I think she's looking very forward there, but a nice black shield.
Giles
Yep.
does get out of it though.
Another 0
Yep,
for 0.
they don't get the pick, but nice attempt.
Mhm.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm surprised it's taking Girl this long to start closing this game out. I feel like, you know,
I would have liked to see them continue pushing mid lane.
yeah. I feel
I
like
don't
Girl
see there
don't
was
quite
any
know
real
how
reason
strong
not
they
to.
are. I mean,
At the moment, Caitlyn has just hit triple items. This is the point where you go for your end of game. Your Evelyn's sitting on the Void Staff. She's sitting now, and you've got
you got 15
your
stacks
triple
on a
items on
Mage.
Caitlyn. Your Nico has the Void Staff. You've got double items on your Shen. Honestly, this is the time to end the game before the enemy starts to actually come online.
I feel like
In
they
fact,
might
they
be
are.
waiting for Soul here. Soul's in 30 seconds if they can secure that.
I don't think Soul's that big for them, realistically.
It's probably not, but
It's big, but
with the way that Girl have been playing the rest of the game, I feel like they're preferring to opt for the safer option rather than the risk.
there's an argument over whether it's the safer option, interestingly. It does open up an Elder slightly later into the game if they mess up. I prefer them to use this as bait and just try and get a pick and end the game.
They haven't started. Actually, they are going to start it pretty much as soon as it gets there. Actually, so much damage coming out. Just from the power of Zabutori, if Abûve doesn't get in there for the steal.
They get the secure.
A huge ultimate from Preston. Going to get pushed away, so it's just going to land with 2 crash. Meanwhile, Proxy force flash away, but nice binding from Troll Zoe.
I expect them to end through bottom.
If they don't end the game here.
Zabutori's running mid. You don't need to. Shen can tank the towers for your minions.
And you've got a huge wave in this bot lane coming up. But of course, Zabutori opting, get the extra tower, get the extra inhibitor. There you go, he's realised that they can end the game here. First Nexus tower dropping. That'll be Nexus tower number 2. And that'll be game 1 going to guys in real life.
That was a good game.
Yep, they actually executed well on their comp. They got ahead, and then it was just too hard for SAS T2 to come back. So obviously, we should go for everyone's favourite part.
Yes.
Of who are the MVPs.
I will let you guys chat as I create a poll for chat to decide on their MVP for game 1.
Well, in my opinion, I would give the MVP to the Morgana. I feel like Morgana did quite open up a lot of opportunities for the team to actually get most of their kills. So, definitely think that Morgana does get a good mention in there. I would definitely give it to Morgana for sure.
Yeah, Troll Zoe, huge setup potential on that Morgana. Gavin, how do you feel about your MVP here?
I think the Morgana was played very well. I would agree with that. Zabutori also did play the Caitlyn very well. It's worth noting though, Preston had some very good engages with Nico. I saw him constantly picking Lulu out of the fight, and those Lulu ults can be massive when it comes to a team fight. So yeah, I think myself, I might actually give it to Preston, which is extremely unexpected, but I think he was actually picking who he needed to pick.
And what about your losing side pick for SAST2?
Giles was trying his best. So as 2 Crash, I think I give it to one of them. Not to say the others weren't trying their best, but I think they stood out slightly more than the others. There were some concerns over Giles' build from people in chat, but I don't think it's the worst idea ever. 2 Crash was winning the top lane by himself to get caught out a couple of times by bindings later on, but I mean, better you block them as Poppy, right? I think I'd end up giving it to 2 Crash just slightly over the Graves, because I think the Graves didn't really manage to get too much done apart from getting one nice dive on the top lane, whereas Poppy was consistently pressuring Shen.
I agree.
Yep, so Abby, our MVP going over to 2 Crash. It's looking like chat are voting as Troll Zoe is their MVP with 56% of the votes. 33 going over to Stinky, and then 1 vote for Zabutori. Yeah. So I'll get into our game 2. We have a lobby going at the moment.
Oh, we do we? Perfect.
I said, do we have a lobby going at the moment?
Oh, no. Give me a second to set one up.
Thank you. So, as we set up this lobby, yeah, chat agrees as our MVP goes to Troll Zoe. Congratulations there. As we get into where is... Don't have Broxah online anymore. What's the 0-0? The 0-0 was my timer, but
so they're having some issues with their ADC has the coronas, and apparently it was going very badly for them. So they're looking to sub out their ADC. So we're gonna need to invite someone else from the, or they're gonna need to sub someone else in for their ADC position for the next game.
Yes, I got a slightly TMI message there.
Oh my god.
Um,
Slightly TMI message. I mean, if I said sick, everyone would be thinking it. So, there you go.
yeah, unfortunate
Um,
for SAST2 there.
Can
And
you
an ah for Nikki.
let me let me grab one of the other players to add to this lobby then. You're just gonna have to bear with us because I don't actually have like all of the players added. Okay, yep. So the way this works is game 1 went to girl. They're now going to swap sides and play game 2. We do just have to check.
Yeah,
They've
unfortunately.
okayed the
Yeah.
swap.
Unfortunately,
ADC.
Theobroxa is very, very not well at the moment. So we wish him well. Hope he gets better soon.
And we'll see what this new ADC brings. I shall tell you a bit about them. Jizza is back. Okay, that's the name that we're looking at.
I think that, if you're correct me from, I think that's one of Accept's accounts. Accept being SAST2's coach.
Played lots of
correct me if
Vayne on
I'm
this
wrong,
account and some Ezreal. I don't know. Honestly, it's an account that was, I guess, clearly made this season. Doesn't have amazing win rates or anything.
Yeah, so we got. So this is now going to be girl on on the red side and SAST2 on the blue side.
Yep.
Okay.
You
High
also
production
need to-
value. No, I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
Yeah, okay. I was just looking at the score hadn't changed. I was like,
I'm fixing it.
Okay.
Don't worry.
fixing it. Can both teams see chat this time?
You'd hope so, indeed. But yeah, so from game 1, are there any bans you're expecting to come into the lobby for game 2?
No. Because I would expect the ban to come in for game 2 to be Caitlyn. But you're now blue side. So you get Caitlyn. So I wouldn't really expect. Maybe they'll ban the Evelyn if they thought that was a bit of a problem for them. Or maybe they ban the Nico or something. But I don't think there's a particular reason to ban out a lot of things. Because I think the comp really was focused around them having that really strong ADC pick. And you can make sure they never get it now.
Yeah. So maybe we'll actually see the ban for Caitlyn coming out from Girl this time instead. Or maybe they don't care. Maybe SAS are gonna get themselves a Caitlyn pick, and we will be able to see. True Crush still doesn't see chat. Lovely. Don't you love the League of Legends client? Very, very
Perfect.
functional.
Let me check that the other team, if they're ready, and then we can keep going.
Yes. Yeah, once Girl are ready, hopefully True Crush, you've still got... So yeah, Girl are ready. So True Crush, if you're still in chat, you can hear this. You're free to start when...
Girl have
you are
party
ready.
owner, so actually
Girl
we have to
party
check.
owner.
We
No,
have to
it's,
check with
Oh, it is. True Crush, are your team ready?
Got your team ready. League client.
You got to love the League client. Just the way it is sometimes, isn't it? It wouldn't be one of our streams if the client didn't break. There we go. Into Chump Select we go.
As the saying in chat, you have to give props to female Broxer for playing while extremely ill. And apparently, yeah, so...
I guess a new setup will be being put
They
there.
do ban the Caitlyn, which says to me, Jizza doesn't play Caitlyn.
Yeah, obviously just not being a Caitlyn player. I'm surprised that they didn't leave that till later. I would have expected them to leave that till their third ban to see if they could get Girl to ban it for them.
See if they could bait Girl into banning. I assume Girl is just going to run back the same bans. It'll be interesting to see if SAST2 decide to ban anything with this Caitlyn. They're going to ban the Yone because Preston plays a lot of Yone. disgusting champion. If you don't like playing into it, just ban it.
Yeah, so currently Preston holding a 66% win rate on Ioriaa ranked. The champion's just come out. Gotta love Ioriaa.
And the MF ban against Saboteur again. This time Senna is left open.
Yeah, so
It'll be interesting to see whether they early lock Senna on the side of Girl.
Yep, so Girl switching out their last ban instead of Thresh, banning the Vayne instead. I didn't have a look at Jeese's profile. Is Jeese a Vayne player at all? Do you know?
Yes. Big Vayne player.
Well. So yeah, taking away Jeese's Vayne there, and going for the first pick of the Nautilus.
Yep. I'm expecting this to be paired with the Ezreal, just looking at what is on the Jizzer account. But we might see something else coming out. Something a bit strange. The Garen early lock. So,
Garen for 2 crash. Or for Yamato even. I know what I'm saying. I mean, Garen is his most played in rank this season.
Yep.
Considering, you know, Yamato struggled last game on that Shen during lane phase 2 crash. Having, you know, almost having his way with him on that Poppy. Getting Yamato sounds like he's comfortable with. I like it.
They're going to blind the Garen and the Sylas. Risky. Very risky. We have to see what their response is here. I'd expect to just see a strong mid lane pick and an ADC. It looks like they might be focusing jungle / top instead. Volibear is a bit of a flex. You can play at both jungle and top.
Yeah, so honestly, I don't have Giles down as a Volibear player, but also there wasn't a whole lot of champions on his profile. But also, I don't really have 2 crash down as a Volibear player.
Ari, I'm not surprised by. Veigar is a pick for Preston, which means that Sylas is maybe jungle Sylas. This is an interesting comp that's been drafted. It's actually coming together quite nicely for Girl. If they can get a decent ADC and a support that will help keep the Sylas alive, or the ADC and the Veigar alive, they're in a very nice spot.
Yeah, and jumping back to the Sylas pick, it is actually Stinky's most played in rank this season. Obviously, it's the second account because the first one got banned. But yeah, it feels like Stinky definitely likes his carry junglers. I mean, we've seen Sylas this game, most probably. We saw the Abaddon last game, and the last time we saw him, I think it was in Nidalee.
I think so, yep.
Yeah, I think it was Nidalee. So obviously, yeah, likes the carry junglers. This is where his comfort is. I'd like to see it, maybe SAS play around that. You know, take advantage of the fact that he's got the weak point this very early. But yeah.
So, both Ashe and Senna are open. Will they choose to ban one here? This is what we have to wait and see. Or are they happy to trade Ashe and Senna? They ban Thresh.
I think
don't think Thresh was going to get picked.
Yeah, I don't think SASGG wanted to ban one here because, of course, Girl get the first pick after ban rotation. If they ban Senna, Girl pick Ashe, then SAS don't have that pick to go to.
So Ashe can deny SAS can deny Senna here if they really want to put the Senna ADC. If not, I think Troll Zoe is almost certain to pick it up. Cassio. This might be a Cassio ADC.
Yeah, this is like a Cassio bot lane. Now, if I was right in remembering this is a second account for Accept, I know Accept likes to play Cassio.
Just as most played is Cassio as mid bot ADC, but Cassio ADC is a thing and it's fairly strong. You combine it with the fact that Nautilus locks someone down and you throw the Miasma down, that's an extremely strong duo lane. I think if both Ashe and Senna don't have that magic resist rune as their secondary, something's gone seriously wrong here. I would actually expect them to both take double magic resist runes here. You look at the enemy team and their entire AD is really coming out of Gnar. You can argue Volibear does AD, but it doesn't do much.
I mean, on the flip side as well, there's a lot of magic damage coming from both sides, of course, with SASGG having the Ari Cassio, and Girl having, you know, Sylas and Veigar, but also Girl have the Ashe and Senna to back up the physical damage side. But they also, again, they have, okay, so remember last game where I was like, okay, the only real front line they've got here is the Shen. Flip to this side, and the only, decently beefy person they have is the Garen. Silas has been turned into an assassin.
I would argue Silas is still fairly beefy just from the absolutely disgusting heal that he has. As long as he doesn't get hit by any grievous wounds, he'll just heal half his health by pressing a button in your general direction. Doesn't even need to hit it. It's just straight up a heal. That's better than Soraka heal. So yeah, I think he can frontline pretty effectively still.
So based on both of these drafts, I'm going to ask chat as well with a poll. But who do you guys give game 2 to? As I set up this poll.
I think I know which team I would give it to. I think one team has an easier draft to execute on when it gets towards the mid and later game. I think they just have a lot more extra CC and extra things in their draft that's nice to have. The team has a fairly interesting draft as well, but
How about you,
we'll have
Nikki?
to see. I'll vote in this poll.
Who is
I
your
was one
winner
of
for
the
this
3
game,
people
Nikki?
that voted for girl last time.
Actually, didn't vote in the poll.
Ah, you should vote. See if you're right.
Do we actually have Nikki here?
I'm
Yes.
right here.
Yeah. So, who's your winner for this draft, and your call for the winner of this game?
I think I might want to see girl win again. Mainly because of how their comp is. Plus, it's a Garen top, and Garen is Garen. And of course, Silas, once he reaches his power spike, is definitely going to be hard to go up against, especially with the healing, like you mentioned. And it's going to be a good bot lane matchup, I suppose, because Ashe against Cassio, I mean, don't know how that's going to work out, but I think overall, I might give it to girl.
Yeah, I think in terms of the straight up matchups, Nara is obviously gonna outdo a Garen, or at least you would expect to. Ahri Veigar's a little bit of a skill matchup. I'd expect the Ahri to have a slight edge unless Veigar places particularly well. In terms of the bot lane, I'd expect it more to go towards SAST2, just because they have insane kill pressure when Cassio gets to level 3. They should be able to pretty much guarantee a kill if Nautilus ever hooks anyone.
Yeah.
Just
And just
gotta be
to
very
fill
careful.
you in on chat's vote, so chat voted for girl to win game 2, but it's very, very close. 56% of the votes going to girl and 44 going to SAST2. So actually much closer. This game.
I think
than
if girl
last.
get through the laning phase, fine, they should be able to win this game.
Yeah.
Is everyone stuck on spectator
I am
delay
also
0?
stuck on spectator delay 0 seconds.
Nice.
This will be the second time in a row that I've seen this bug. Oh, there we
Oh,
go. It's
no,
come through.
There we go. Just a League client doing League client things.
It is indeed.
Everyone welcome to the League client.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a fairly close vote this time. I think you're really going to see if SAST2 will win based on how the bot lane goes here. And if the Volley Bear manages to get anything done. I think if the Gnar manages to get far ahead of the Garen, you could also potentially just win through that top lane matchup being unplayable for Garen.
Yeah, so I think if girl even decide that they want to put all their eggs into the top lane basket and make sure that Yamato is just this unstoppable Garen, it shuts 2 Crash out the game and that Gnar makes him basically irrelevant. And if Stinky and Yamato can work together, it can really, put Giles in a position where he's, not much of a champion either. And then, I suppose they do have the Ahri Charm and the Cassiopeia Petrifying Days that are going to help them kite the, Garen. Both going to be decently easy to hit on Garen without the dashes, of course. As Garen has no dashes even.
He does have the speed boost.
Does have the speed boost,
from his
but
Q.
that's not quite going to help into a charm or a petrifying gaze.
Of course, W also gives him. I think it still gives him extra tenacity, does it? No, it just gives him a shield now, I think.
I thought it was resistances, to be honest.
Passively gives him resistances for the amount of minions killed, and on usage gives him damage reduction and a shield. They started stacking things on there because they thought it wasn't interesting enough, and now no one's. I don't think anyone quite knows exactly what it does because they kept changing it. Yeah, both teams found out. We're having 2 red starts, so
Yeah,
it'll be
of course,
interesting to
they're getting
see how
in
they
before
both
me. Okay.
choose to make use of these red starts.
Yeah,
Suggest
so-
Giles might be focusing more towards that top lane, whereas Stinky might be focusing more on the spot lane. I think it's good that he'll be there when Cassio and Nautilus are starting to hit that point where they might really go for the kill.
Yeah, I actually like the decision from Giles to start bottom side, because as we talked about in Load Screen Champ Select, if Stinky puts effort into making sure Yamato wins that lane and gets ahead and becomes that unstoppable Garen, SAS are going to have a real hard time actually controlling Yamato. Whereas if Giles is there from the get-go and actually gets 2 crash headshots Yamato out of the game, Girl don't have a lot of stuff. Actually, speaking of, Troll Zoe landing a nice
And a ruse
route
landed.
there, forcing
They
Flash's
forced the
flash.
flash. Very nice. Yeah, so level 1 is the point where Zabutori, or level 1 and 2 is the point where Zabutori and Troll Zoe can really push the lead they're going to get in this lane. It's good to see that they realise that and do push the damage and the poke that they can.
Yeah, I mean,
Be
so
interested to see how their playstyle transitions when they start hitting level 3.
The poke is pretty good, but we don't really see a cleanse on Ashe. What do you guys think about that, considering there's a lot of CC on his T2 side?
I don't know how I feel about the lack of cleanse, especially leaning into a Nautilus Cassio. I think maybe it would have been the better option, considering what you got the Nautilus root. I mean, the root, the hook, the ult. You got the Cassio ult. Can't cleanse my
Interestingly,
asthma. Got the charm. Got the
I quite
volley
like
root.
it, because who are you going to try and kill usually in this lane? You're going to try and kill the Senna, because the Senna can help keep Ashe alive, but Ashe can't really help keep Senna alive. But if you've got the heal, that's an extra way.
Ooh, flashing in
Help
the mid lane from
Flash
Giles.
forwards.
Flashes the charm Preston, but half
Charm.
flashing forward as well. I will secure that first
Very
blood.
nice flash forward. Yeah, Firehawk knowing there that they can definitely get the kill as long as he flashes forwards and gets that extra damage down with the ignite. Unfortunately, Giles takes the kill on the volley bear, but you know what? They got the kill.
You got the kill,
Got
you
it
got
in
the
the
gold. And actually, it's good of him to help Firehawk push out that lane. Not actually going to get a very good reset for Firehawk here if he decides to back. Actually, Stinky coming in for this engage.
Oh,
Flashing
a nice
behind
flash.
Giles, but he gets the kill. Anyway, I think he was predicting Giles' flash, not remembering that he'd actually used it to get that kill on the Preston.
I think he might have seen the Q coming out of the Ioriaa and thought it was the charm.
Yeah. Might have been that as well. But yeah, SAS Tier 2 bot lane struggling with just the poke from those volleys, and
They're at the
Synərgy
point
as well.
now where they can really disgustingly lock down one person, but because they've been poked so low, they're going to really struggle to find a chance to do that.
I think.
Oh, that's a
Juicer-
beautiful hit.
Juicer does need to back and get that tier before he can really lane and get much further. He's going to back with 900 gold tier, so it is going to be enough to get the tier. And it's going to make everything about that lane so much easier.
Outside for a gank.
Oh, nice cage. 2 crash force to flash away there. So
Frames
Preston's
up.
just going to get whatever stacks he can. But actually, Yamato is there going for the Q forward. Not going to go
Gets
for
a
the power
flash. Honestly, that's probably worth it. You get your Garen a lot of pressure just by forcing out the flash from the Gnar. You do give up 160 gold to the enemy Ahri because you stayed so long.
Preston's not done. Cage not going to
Just
connect there.
misses.
But yeah, it does, especially burning that flash just before 2 crash hits level 6, it does stop the potential for, a flash from Gnar ult with a gank from Giles as well.
Preston is now a level behind. We can see that Ari now has ult and can definitely
Yeah.
dash away.
I didn't mind the first gank, but he stayed for so long that
Speaking of mid lane, ooh, nah, Stinky not gonna commit to that one.
Firehawk's now level 6, and as we know, Firehawk is great at using the Ari ultimate defensively.
I want to see the improvement arc coming from Firehawk because it's been a good month or so before we've seen it.
I would love to see some aggressive uses of it.
Oh, and they're not coming out. Not going to get this
Does
on the wall.
not
Yamato is
get into
free
the wall.
to walk away, but nice slow, forcing that flash from Yamato, but Giles still going to get that stun
There's
out.
the stun.
And then the third auto will be getting killed there. Meanwhile, in the
Jigresh
bot
gets
lane, Plusher going for the kill on the Stinky, but she's not going to follow up. They're going to get exhausted as well.
Yeah, they do get some nice trades in the bot lane
Honestly,
as well.
this could have been so good for Girl in the bot lane there, as they had the wave pushing into them, and Stinky came to gank. But then Zabatori cleared it and is now, freezing the wave up
Yeah,
there.
I don't
Ooh,
like the fact...
The root?
So I don't like that Zabatori is just killing the wave here. There's no reason to.
Oh, Preston's in the bottom lane. Does put the cage down, it's not going to land onto Jisa. Getting caught by that root again, no charm available.
These roots from Troll Zoe have just been on point.
Every time we've seen Troll Zoe in it was ESCL before, but yeah, now it's CL. The last time we saw Troll Zoe on the center, he showed us a dominating performance on it. So much lane pressure comes out.
I don't think Eve was banned. I think they just decided they wanted the Silas.
Yes, I think he actually has more games on Silas than Evelyn, so I'll see more of a comfort pick for him.
Can't remember if Silas was banned in the first
No,
game.
Either,
I think it might have been.
Might have been banned indeed. First Dragon is a cloud. Doesn't look like anyone's putting too much prior on it to get it straight away.
Interestingly, we've got some really big ultimates. Honestly, for a Cloud Drake, yeah.
I think a Cloud Drake could be huge for both teams. That 10% ult CDR. So if you look at SAS tier 2, 10% ult CDR gives, 10% CDR on the pick potential and Plusher. It gives 10% CDR on Peel and pick potential for Jisa. 10% CDR on Firehawks, makes him ungankable. It gives him so much mobility. 10% CDR on denying turrets. 20% CDR on huge CC from 2 Crash.
Yeah, I'd say there's quite a lot of high value ultimates that actually, for once, getting the Cloud Drake rolled early doesn't feel absolutely terrible. Our ult picked up.
It's going to knock him into that wall there. And with the spin and the ultimate from Yamato, will finish him off.
Nicely done.
I mean, this is exactly what we
guys,
wanted to see from Girls, putting effort into that top lane, getting Yamato ahead, and making him that unstoppable Garen.
Where would you like to see the focus now from both teams? Is there a particular objective you want to see each team go for, try and get, or a particular lane you want them to focus on trying to get ahead?
I think a good objective to go for would be Rift over the Cloud Dragon, just because it's a Cloud Dragon, to be fair.
Yeah.
But I definitely think they can put the Rift down mid lane if blue team gets it.
Yeah, I'd really actually like to see this mid tower opened up by SAS. Did you get Firehawk that ability to roam around the map? Because we've seen Preston's engage in the spot lane.
The miasma's not used. I think ultimate from Jizza there.
Not gonna connect. A nice enchanting crystal arrow.
And from the
Flushy's
side.
in a lot of.
The knock up Stinky does get caught by Flusher, but Jesus forced to flash away. But Flash is coming out everywhere as Zabatori finishes off that kill.
I don't know if miasma there was on cooldown when the the Nautilus hook went off.
So
but that looked like the perfect time for a kill.
It did. I mean, this is gonna be first Dragon 4. Oh, they're actually deciding to rotate.
There we go.
This mid lane.
Nikki, you're right. They did take their F Herald and they have put it mid.
Firehawk flash and ult away.
Flash is out.
Flashes out the cage, uses ult to get away from Stinky. I don't know if the ult was necessary.
I don't think so, but we know Firehawk with these Ahri ultimates.
I have faith.
Not
I have
too
faith in the
unexpected.
improvement arc. Meanwhile, of course, we do see this dragon taken by Garl. And that'll be as a mountain for tier 2, so we're either on a ocean or a infernal rift.
And of course, as all teams want, if you get the early drakes, you're hoping it's going to be an ocean. If you don't get the early drakes, you're hoping it's going to be infernal. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see here which team it really favors, who picks up the second drake. If it is picked up by Girl, obviously it's quite telling which drake comes down as to which team's happy or not.
I mean, honestly, I think SAS tier 2 are going to want the ocean. Because they've got, you know, 3 huge front lines with the Gnar, the Volibear, and the Nautilus. And if you just make that harder for Girl to burn through...
This is true. You would, if you're getting the soul, of course you want the ocean. But in the chance that Girl happen to get both these drakes, and then an ocean drake comes up, while they're ahead and still have the
Ooh,
priority, yeah, you're not too happy.
All
Too
those
Precious
dashes
gonna walk
from-
out of that
yeah.
one.
Even
Giles
with
is
the
waiting
extra
a
dashes.
while.
Oh, huge
Nice
ultimate
hook.
actually from Giles.
Beautiful CC combos there.
Zoe lasting barely a second there.
And yeah, that's sort of what I was expecting to happen. A lot more.
Looks like they're not finished. Saboteur staying.
It's in a
Also from
1v3 under the
Plasha
turret.
And from Jisa.
Oh,
Plasha
but
actually going to fall there.
Plasha actually stays too long.
That'll be traded 2 for 1 over. Ooh. Getting a little bit of extra gold into Saboteur.
Honestly, if you're Zabatori there, you're not even sad. You traded 1 for 1 in the end in what should have definitely just been you dying.
Did Saboteur have a bounty? I didn't see that one.
Yes, that was 150 bonus gold.
So, oh, SAS2 got a slight freezer? No?
But it did go on to Volibear, so you could still argue that overall, I think you're happier.
Stinky is actually in the top lane, but 2Crash doesn't care and just goes aggressive on this, and Mega Knight is available.
The Senna ult is used. Silence goes down.
Meanwhile, in the mid lane, oh, a nice charm to Preston. Ultimate
Oh,
work
the
here now.
aggressive ultimate from Firehawk picks up
But
the
the
kill.
ignites too much. Done this on this 2Crash. Flashes away from Yamato's ultimate, but flashes right into Stinky there.
But you know what? He's trying to use the ultimate more aggressively. I like it.
But yeah, you need
up
to
the
get that.
Charles and Push coming bot side again.
And there's the Miasma combo with the Nautilus hook. As soon as that Miasma's down, you can't flash. You can't use summoners to get out. And that's why I think the heal on Ashe is slightly more useful than the cleanse. In one of those situations, you can heal your Senna to give it the speed buff to help her get out of that Miasma. But
Charles
it's
isn't
not up.
finished. Actually, Plasha is going to be
Saboteur.
there to help.
Just to stick around again.
Yeah, the Smite will finish off there with red buff alongside.
They're really just focusing on the bottom lane now.
And
Will
actually,
they manage to get this tower? I think top lane is going to fall first.
Yep.
Yes, definitely.
yeah, that'd be
That's
top
a
without
lot of
falling.
gold just funneled straight into the Garen right there. This is quite a close game. You look at the gold lead, it's 300 right now to Girl. Which team
And
outscales?
That
There's
300 gold is
arguments.
basically just first tower gold that went there. Oh, Troll Zoe, gonna get caught by Giles there.
Maybe not expecting the Volibear to have stayed around for quite so long. Ends up losing half health for it.
Physical Senate does have.
Oh, he's coming back
Absolutely.
again.
Giles isn't spotted. He's
This is
recalling
one of
there.
those... If he stayed, it's one of those games where if you're bot side, you look at the rest of the map and you go, why aren't you winning harder? We've had the Volibear in our lane for 10 minutes now. But no, yeah, the argument you would say, eventually Red outscale, they do have 2 champions. Girl do have 2 infinitely scaling champions in the Senna and the Vigar. However, Cassio does scale like a monster as well. Ahri can be very hard to deal with later on. The problem mainly is in that Volibear not really fitting in with the scaling aspect.
Honestly, I'd like the body pick just to get them through this, 10 to 20 minute mark where, we're waiting for some item spikes and Giles actually coming through some huge picks, huge ganks that are helping.
Yeah, I mean, I like it if he wasn't getting all the kills. Now that he's getting all the kills, it's a problem for them. Hook comes down again, but it's the bait.
I'm shaking a lot of damage.
With the reverse bait.
There. Huge ultimate from Troll,
Nice
Zoe.
ultimate.
Saboteur going to get smited down. A TP actually coming in from Yamato, but it's a little bit late as he's now in the 3v2, but a Q ult will finish off Firehawk there.
Two Crash is also here.
Also late to this fight.
Getting the full 5v5.
Getting the full 5v5, a nice ult to Yamato through Yamato can into the wall, but Preston with a nice cage to hold the rest of SAS together, but it doesn't look like they're done. G's going to dodge that Q there.
Preston gets tagged by the boulder.
And a 3-for-1 overall. SAS tier 2 coming out on top. It doesn't look like Preston going to get another cook. It's going to land onto Jisa.
Oh, Jisa.
Huge damage.
Ligar ultimate is used.
It's wasted, doesn't connect. 2Crash will be safe away there. Possibly wouldn't have been if Preston's ult was available. Oh, but the hook going to land onto him. Oh.
Silas.
The missing things coming out from Garl. And Stinky, just huge damage coming out, blowing up 2Crash there. No magic resist. What can you do when you get some 5-0 Silas?
Yeah, Silas. Silas is a Silas champion.
That'd be Dragon number 2 started by Garl. They do have all 5 members around. Teleport is used by
Yeah,
Jisa.
I do like the fact that they're pressing this slight advantage they have. They're trying to
Preston's got no mana.
Get the dragons.
That is Dragon number 2. A nice charm from Firehawk. And the hook lands on Plusher.
That hook was just beautiful. The aggressive ult from Firehawk gets the kill.
And now Plusher just keeping Stinky available.
To get out.
Then Chalkazara not going to
The arrow
connect.
goes white.
The Ash ult misses.
And now it's just
That's
Giles
an
left
800.
alone in this 1 versus 3. And Yamato will finish him off there as 2Crash just doesn't make it there in time. The enchanted
I saw
crystal
a
arrow.
500 bounty picked up there by the Ari onto Stinky. So this Ari should be coming back with some
she's
very strong purchases.
Finish off that Oblivion orb there with the shutdown there, which means hopefully she's going to finish that Morelos. She really needs to, especially into a Silas and a Senna. 2Crash going to try and save this tower, but there's nothing he can really do there.
Yeah, focuses on autoing Garen, which I don't
Really
know,
didn't do a whole lot for him.
by far the worst person to auto there. You either auto their minions or you auto the Ashe to try and put her in a place where you can actually get a kill onto her.
So yeah, an explosive fight. Actually, let's have a look at items. How do you feel about the Black Cleaver on 2Crash? So listen chat a little bit ago as we get a moment of lull state.
It's a tech item into Garen where he's going to be stacking armor even if he doesn't build armor. You'll be able to auto, with your just general auto attack poke, you'll basically be reducing his armor the entire game. So it's just really useful. The CDR's good.
Oh, the Garen, Giles coming in for a gank onto Yamato. 2Crash just waiting to get Mega.
He
Nice
misses the
ultimate from
boomerang.
Troll, Zoe.
That could matter.
Yamato actually looking like he might be able to get away here. Giles actually
slow
gonna get
from
that
the
second
boulder.
stun. Yeah. That'd be a nice shutdown going on to 2Crash. I like that went on to 2Crash.
Glad that went out. It
Red
looked
team
like
picked
Jules was about to take it, but
Stink's possibly gonna get caught here, but the amount of damage he's pushing out actually
uses the
turning
Ari
this around.
ultimate.
She's using that plant to get away there. But, oh, Stinky is gonna connect that hook onto Plusher, but not gonna be able to
Can't
go
put
through the
himself
wall with
over the
that.
wall. There's no room on the other side of the wall.
And that'll be
And if you-
Harold, the guys in real life.
Yep, I'd
You think
expect
they're
them to
gonna put it
just drop
down,
this
though?
mid. I think they'd drop it mid.
Yeah, I think
The only
girl need to open this mid tower now. Oh, but Firehawk's taking a little bit too long. Doesn't
the
have the ult
charm.
available, doesn't have flash as well. And yeah, with the
Chance
Enchanted
of
Crystal
Crystal
Arrow,
Arrow used.
Cage landing onto
Just as caught
Gisa.
here.
Flash it is there, but with one ult from Preston, a nice flash away.
Means that he doesn't get stunned. They're
From the
using
Pathfinder
the
days.
Herald's top lane instead. Maybe hoping they can get a charge onto the inhib tower. Maybe get the inhib tower as well. Otherwise, I don't particularly like it just for one outer. Or
Giles
one inner
is
tower.
there. Got Giles, Pusher, and 2Crash. It looks like it's going to get that second charge. I don't know if they'll be able to open this in tower up, though.
They'll
with-
be able to open.
They actually
Oh, it
interrupt the
doesn't-
charge. So it's only for that outer.
Yeah, it doesn't really give you much in terms of map
How much
pressure
interesting?
getting
How
down
much
that
health does
tower.
this mid tower have left? Ah, yeah, I can see why they didn't use the mid tower. They get the mid tower anyway. So it was already
goes.
decently low. Stinky actually going to land, so going to flash there. Forces his flash away.
Use the
But now
Void
Giles
ultimate, but
return
misses the
ults.
tower.
But there's a Vigar cage and Giles.
Just for enemy. He tried to take a 1v4. I mean, it went about as well as you can expect when you try and take a 1v4 on Volibear.
Yeah, I'm not sure I rated that one either.
Interestingly, he's building an Abyssal Mask. Considering you have 2 massive magic damage threats, honestly, a really good choice. You would expect to be in the enemy team, so you will be amping the damage from your Ari and from your Cassio. And also from your Nautilus, but, you know.
I didn't actually look what sword it was, so it is an Infernal Sword, okay. It's been like 5 minutes, and I hadn't noticed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sad for girl, happy for SAST2.
And actually, with how... So, Dragon is spawning in 37 seconds, it does look like Girl are going to be getting the... Or not, I thought they were going to start parking towards that Dragon, instead parking towards lanes, making sure they're shoving first. Preston is in the top lane, doesn't have teleport. So this could possibly
this
be
is big.
something for
SAST2 might want to try and take this fight. Cassio hasn't got that Leandries yet, but she does have the Haunting Guys, which is a fairly strong point. Ari's not managed to get another item past the last time we checked.
Yeah, it's still not quite got enough for that Morello Umpun.
I think at the very least I'd expect them to maybe try and go for a cheeky steal. It is the third Drake.
There is no Grievous Wounds yet on SAST2. But Girl deciding not to start the Dragon. They're looking for a pick first, but oh, nice charm.
Nice charm from Firehawk.
Clasher gonna hook himself into the wall there. A nice
A good miasma
keeps
keeps Silas from moving forwards.
Looks like he's gonna fizzle out a little bit here. Fishing for the extra charm, but Stinky actually stepping a little bit far forward. Firehawk's ult not gonna get him anywhere there.
Kill shots being thrown from Girl, missing, but the zoning's going down.
Mega's also almost up.
They're playing this very slowly.
Dragon is started, Stinky not going to connect that chain. Root is landing 2 crash at the top trolls, trying to send him away there, but he's about
Giles
to hit
does
Mega.
not have ult. He could flash into the pit.
Yamato just getting that silence
He's just
onto
going for the
Giles. But this Smite going to get landed by Stinky. He's going to get that first Dragon, but a huge ultimate from Jisa will catch both Preston and Trollzo, but they haven't fallen as Yamato and Stinky just walk through the backline of SAST2. And it's 2 crash just left to Trollzo there.
Unfortunate there. Smite about 100 HP early. I think in fact, I think I might have seen exactly 100 HP. Yeah, it's extremely unfortunate. If you take that fight, you need to be sure you're gonna win it.
That'd be bot tower falling. It's only Giles alive, and he can't even help that mid tower. Bottom inhib tower falling. If you look at this mid inhib tower, it's starting to be pushed by Saboteur as well.
The only person alive is probably the one person you wouldn't have wanted to be alive if you're trying to defend. And the one person attempting to steal.
Clasher gonna get caught a lot by Stinky here, but a nice ultimate stolen by Stinky. We'll pick them up that kill on Clasher and that inhib in bottom lane. Mid tower is sitting about a third health. Wave not quite gonna connect yet.
I think Stinky has now petrified as many people as Jizza has. Which is kind of sad, but sometimes it happens. Sometimes you just struggle with to hit your Cassio ults, you know. Can't always be perfect.
It's tough because the range of Petrifying Gaze just isn't quite enough to be able to catch someone like Saboteur consistently.
Yep, so I'd expect Girl to just take their backs and move towards the Baron here. Because someone's got to answer that bot wave push. You take the Baron and you run it down mid or top. Your choice.
Yeah. Interesting in pickups. We do have that death cap finished by Preston. Interesting actually, Morello's picked up by Stinky. Actually seeing Girl pick up Grievous Wounds before SAST2.
Yep. Kinda sad, but who's going to pick it up? Do you want your Gnar to be building executioners?
I think they need some sort of...
I think you
Gonna
have to.
connect. 800 gold is cheaper than that 2600 that currently Firehawk is trying to sink in. Does have enough to finish it now.
Yeah, now picked up the Bramble Vest. The slight problem with that is Silas might just choose not to auto-attack you and then he wins every fight he takes against you.
Yeah, this is Baron sided. No vision on that side of the map from SAS.
They just give it up, and they have to give it up, quite frankly. You can potentially
stop the
to crash a little bit forward.
Baron push. Ouch.
Does have that hop.
Dead.
It's completely fine.
No. Actually just hops away.
Struggled to clear this wave, as Stinky and Preston are both there. Meanwhile in the mid, just waiting for their wave to connect. The cage not going to connect onto Firehawk. This is
so yeah,
people are
arguing about Morello's not being a good buy. Interestingly enough, when you're expecting to end the game, you just want the power that...
Huge ulti from Jolyu.
Well, they're going to end the game. I'll talk about the Morello's buy after.
Flash cage.
Beautiful flash cage.
Securing the double kill into the chain from Stinky. Jol's forced to ult flash away, and it's just him and Plusher alive.
And game 2 is also going to Girl.
That'll be a 2-0 for Girl.
Fairly clean 2-0 coming out for Girl here.
Yep, game 2 was a lot closer. Actually, Plusher going to be finished off again. Stinky with a huge amounts of healing there.
So yeah, the argument for why finishing Morello's is good here is because you're expecting to end the game within the next like 5 minutes or so. So the added power that you get from finishing Morello's is more useful than anything you could have bought with that extra money. Because you couldn't have finished another item in that time. It's not great gold efficiency, Morello's, but it will give you some extra little bits, and overall the amount of gold spent would have done more there by finishing Morello's. If they had failed to end the game, oh, then you can flame them for it.
But yes, MVPs, as I set this up for chat's vote as well.
MVPs, I mean, it's quite hard on the side of Girl, I feel. Let's go to the other side, SAS T2. Who do we think deserves it on their team? Although Giles did do quite a lot, I feel part of a big problem for why they lost the game is actually that the Volley Bear ended up with all of the early kills. And he's not going to use those well. He's not going to scale particularly well in terms of fighting towards the late game into the enemy team. If those early kills had gone onto his laners instead, they might have been in a much better spot, so I actually wouldn't have given it to Giles there. I might have actually given it to Firehawk, although he didn't play particularly well. I think, although he didn't play perfectly, I think we could see some definite improvements. I have just noticed the Morello's picked up on Firehawk.
Yeah, the Morello's on Firehawk
at the end of the game.
Finished just at the end of the game there.
Although, he's the only person that's really built Grievous Wounds that are going to work into Silas, the one who heals disgustingly. So I will give him that as an okay buy. Yeah, I think I'd just give it to Firehawk, because I think I saw improvement over the last time we saw him playing Ahri.
How about you, Nikki?
I think I'd give it to Gnar, honestly, because he was there when he needed to be there. He dealt quite a lot of damage on people he needed to do damage to. He did quite a lot of damage to Ashe, and we can definitely see in the skirmishes bot side that Gnar did a lot in those fights. And I don't know, I think I'd give it to Gnar for their team.
Yeah, I probably agree with you, T-Crash. Honestly, for me, it was between T-Crash and... I don't know, I think Giles had so much potential, but yeah, him taking 6 of those kills did really hinder the amount of gold that went to his team. But some of the early game ultimates as well. I think Giles.
Giles, there were some really nice ganks, but yeah. If we go to the other side, to Girl, what are you guys thinking?
I would give it to Silas.
Reasoning?
Because, well, honestly, I think you're right. Silas did use Cassio's ult as much as Cassio did, to be fair, and it really did show up in the team fights. He obviously did what Silas's do and healed a lot, did a lot of damage, picked off a lot of people from the side. But yeah, I definitely think Silas had a lot of presence in that game.
Yeah, for me, it's definitely between Stinky on Silas and Preston on Vigar. Preston was constantly picking out people with the cage. What is it called? I don't remember. He was constantly picking out people with Vigar cage, flashing forwards, getting the picks. Although Stinky was where he needed to be, he got his ganks off. He got crucial flashes and crucial kills. We can see he was using the enemy team's ultimates in quite a few cases better than they were, which is a bit sad to say, but you know, it happens. Sometimes you have a bad game.
Yeah.
And yeah,
I mean, yeah, chat agrees with Stinky being MVP. Had 69% of the votes. It's just disappeared off my screen. Actually, no, view results. Nope, it's gonna break on me. Thank you, Twitch. But yeah, that'll be a 2-0 to go for our very first games of this season in CL. Very first games in CL, full stop. So well played to them. Now we do have our second round of games, which will be SAS, their first team, against Guardians of the Rift. However, that is in an hour's time. So I will most likely close stream for this hour, not leave you with an hour of waiting time. So I do want to, of course, thank Gabblit for casting me as always, and also thank Nikki as our guest caster for today. Is there any socials you would like to promote in chat, Nikki? Where can people find you?
I don't really do Twitch streams, so I guess I should probably start sometime soon. This is probably my first time.
there we go. Potentially look out for Nikki starting Twitch
Yeah.
stream soon. Yeah, of course,
Go
I'm
check her
in
out.
the usual place.
And there you go.
Yeah, I think I'm fairly close to 50, but I'll actually have to start streaming again to get the affiliate thing, and then I can just stop again after hitting it.
Of course, it
So,
didn't
you know.
recognize your username again. There you go. There you go, yes.
Yeah.
So check out Nikki and check out Gavin on their Twitch streams as well. And we will be seeing you guys in an hour for SAS versus GOTR.
Just under an hour.
Just under an hour, yeah. Thanks, guys. Bye.